Welcome to the Jackal and the Truth, episode 2. My name is TJ Gray. This is my brother, the Jackal. We have a great show for you this week. Crazy week in sports. I'm sure many of you already know. So we'll be talking about Roy Halladay, Tim Lincecum, all the baseball series. I'm decked out in pink today for breast cancer awareness. It's October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As usual, we'll get in some thin ice with the Jackal on a very touchy subject. What else is new? But other than that, we're going to talk about, I'm going to get really pissed off later. A lot of you know me, know I don't get angry easy, but I'm angry. I'm going to hide it for most of the show, but I have a feeling it's going to come out towards the end. I don't know. Last week we encouraged you to write in and send your emails, and we did get an email. Do you want to tell them who it's from?
Got an email from our boy, Mikey Meyer.
Mike, thank you so much. First of all, we miss you, man. We haven't seen you in a long time. And
love you, man.
Yeah, right. But I love the email, first of all, especially how it starts off.
I don't so much.
Mike writes in, I'm not going to read the whole email, but I'll give you the gist of it. Mike writes in, Dear Jack-Off and the Truth. How do you feel about that?
Oh, Mikey was my boy, and now he's dissing me. But that's alright, that's alright.
Right.
I still love him.
Mike, you're absolutely right. Mike pointed out that last week we talked about the syphilis testing done in Guatemala, and we mentioned that, you know, they're going to do it on us and things like that. And I don't know why it slipped my mind. I knew about the Tuskegee experiments, but it just slipped my mind. And for those who don't know, the Tuskegee experiments were done in Alabama. 600 black men they tested with syphilis from 1932 to 1972. The guy, Dr. John Cutler, who did the Guatemala SC things, he was just involved with these.
Doesn't he throw TDs for the Browns?
That's Jay Cutler.
Oh.
No, he just throws interceptions against the Giants.
Oh, for the Bears now.
Which cost you my pick.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. We'll do more picks later, too. But either case, there's no useful information came out of it, so why repeat the study? I don't know.
Because of black people, and this is what America, this is what we do now.
Right. Mike, who I think might be Republican-leaning, based on his email, also asked me who I think is going to run for Republican president in 2012. That's a tough question. It's a little early. I do know 4 candidates that might run all work for Fox News. So that tells you how fair and balanced Fox News is. That's Newt Gingrich, Sarah Palin, Mike Huckabee, and Rick Santorum. Now, Rick Santorum's interesting. He might be the person I would say would run. It's either him or Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney has the whole Mormon thing going. So, Glenn Beck's a Mormon, so he might get some people like that. And then Rick Santorum has...
Psycho,
they're crazy, the Mormons. And then you have Mike Huckabee, who has a huge religious following. And you have Mitt Romney, who... Or what did I say, Mitt Romney? Rick Santorum, who has the Tea Party.
What about John McCain? Oh wait, he'll probably be dead.
Right, we went over that last week. Either way, Mike, thanks very much for writing in. We'll show the email right after this break again. Please write in. We appreciate any response we get. We really want to know what you think of the show and what you have to add to it, because we don't do a good enough job by ourselves.
We don't.
Right.
Thank you, Mikey Meyer.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, Mike's in, again, Youngstown, Ohio. So Jackal and Truth, 3 states over already. So we're big, man. And thank you everyone who watched the first show, everyone who viewed. 300 something views on YouTube. Blows my mind how many people actually watch. So
It does for me too, man. It does.
Right. You got anything else?
I'm good.
We got a lot to cover, so we're gonna come right back and we'll start it. All right?
Alright.
All right. We'll see you in a minute.
Keep on rocking me, baby. I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA, Northern California, where the girls are warm, so I could be with my sweet baby.
Welcome back to the Jackal and the Truth.
Each week we're going to talk a little bit about politics on the show, and I know for some of you don't care, it's boring, but exactly. But understand that you are the future of this country, and you need to start figuring out what's going on. Trust me, I wasn't politically at all until recently, but I do want to start speaking to you about politics, just as though I was sitting across from a table and we were talking about it. Just basic things that are going on in the country, just so you're informed, just so you know what's going on. And this week has been, in politics, it's just been disastrous for the Tea Party. Jim DeMint, a Republican senator from South Carolina, he has made a lot of news recently talking about homosexuals and women teaching in the classroom. Basically, because anything that has to do with the Tea Party is based in religion, he believes that the teacher should be setting an example for the students that they teach. For him, that means they shouldn't be having sex out of marriage, and of course, they shouldn't be doing each other in the ass.
So you're gonna fire every teacher?
I don't know what he wants to do. He says they shouldn't be teachers. I don't know if he's going to test. Could you test?
How?
I don't know. I mean, he could, for women, he could test if they're virgins or not, I suppose, but find me a teachers union that's going to sign up for that.
I know, really.
Right, and single men, can they have sex outside of marriage? Is he going to test that? I don't know. I don't understand how he's going to test that.
I don't like how he's gonna test about gay sex.
I don't, listen, with Tea Parties, they always say small government. They always say they don't want the government involved in the personal lives of people, except when it's, who they're sleeping with, which is some perverse fascination they have with sex lives. But,
a little too much of it.
Right. So that's just a little bit of politics for this week, and we'll give you a little taste each week. Do you want to talk about our next story?
The 16-year-old kid, he was driving with his friend in the front seat and his friend's sister. And they were driving. He only has a permit. And they crashed and the bitch died,
Oh,
wow. They did try to save the bitch, though. But by the end, didn't work out, man. But now they're trying to say he should go to prison maybe for about 4 years. And he's only 16 years old. And I don't think he should go to prison. What do you think?
You see in one segment the compassionate side and the douchebag side of the Jackal. All in one segment right there. He's absolutely right. The kid, he drove into a parked van, and when he was driving a minivan, he drove into a parked car. Unfortunately, the little sister... Yep. Unfortunately, the little sister of the kid he had in the front seat passed away. They tried to save her. She was only 13, but they couldn't save her, and she died. It was a complete accident. No malintent, yet they're charging him as an adult with vehicular homicide. So this kid's going to go to adult prison for 4 years if found guilty. And I just think that's outrageous.
That's wrong. He's going to go to prison, get raped in the shower, probably twice a day.
But then he can't teach in South Carolina.
Yeah, get a dick up his ass probably, or in his mouth, either one. And just because he's a kid, he's 16 years old, he made a mistake.
He made a huge mistake, and he should pay for it.
I'm sorry that the bitch died. I am sorry. I feel bad for
I don't believe you at all.
I feel bad for the bitch dying. But you know what? Him and the girl's brother did try to save her. So you know what? It's not like he just went, oh, I'm going to go out driving. I'm going to kill your sister today. He didn't try to do that. Was he stupid for driving? Yes. Should he get his license taken away for a long time? Yes. But not prison. Sorry.
Maybe 2 years juvenile detention, and then after that probation. I'd be good with that. So I think most of you would agree. If you don't agree, just go ahead and write in. Let us know how wrong we are. But all right, let's have some fun now. Let's talk about everyone's favorite subject except Jim DeMint's, and that's sex studies. There are 2 huge sex studies that came out this week. Basically, the most extensive sex studies since Kinsey did his reports, which was a long time ago. But there's a lot of interesting information. The one sex study talked about homosexuality. So 7% of women and 8% of men self-identify as gay, which are pretty low numbers. I thought those might be higher, but of course they're not going to. A lot of people aren't going to say they're homosexual. The most interesting part of it, I thought, one of the most interesting part was that 85% of men said that they gave their last partner a orgasm.
Oh my God.
Right? While only 64% of women said that their last partner gave them an orgasm. So that's a...
So the men team is better.
No, what it means is women are still faking it. Surprise. But I guess it's right there in black and white now, so if everyone's like, oh, I fake it, I don't fake. They're faking it, trust me.
Well, when 2 guys are, together.
Right.
I guess they don't have to fake.
The good news out of this study is that 79% of teenagers aged 14 to 17 are using condoms. That's a huge improvement from 10 years ago. Sex education, you hear a lot of conservatives blast sex education. It doesn't work, it doesn't do this. 79% of teens using condoms, that's working. That's an education program that's working.
That is.
Right, so we definitely need to try to get that number higher, especially with AIDS, a lot of STDs going around. Then they can move, if they get an STD, they can move to Tuskegee or Guatemala, and then they can start getting research for it, so that'll be fun. And then the one information that Bob thought was interesting is that while only 8% of men associate themselves as gay, 15% of men aged 50 to 59 said they've received oral sex from another man. So I think we call that the 60s, right? So yeah, so that's it for the sex studies. But always interesting. By the way, I want that job. I want to be a sex person that does sex studies.
Yeah, who doesn't?
All right, and then if we're going to talk about sex, we got to talk about one of my favorite stories of the week. It's recent, a couple days ago. Go ahead, Jackal. Tell us what I'm talking about.
Supposedly, it's a rumor going around that Brett Favre, hit on this reporter when he was on the Jets and everything.
Her name is Jen Sturger, by the way, just for clarity.
She's a young, I think in her mid-20s, around there, very good looking and everything. And supposedly took a picture of his penis and thought, hey, maybe this girl will have sex with me now. Even though she, try not to, but you can understand Brett Favre trying. His wife has cancer. Who wants to do her?
Remember, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
She has breast cancer. Who wants to do her? I don't blame Brett Favre. No, good for you. But you know what? Obviously, the other girl's not opening her legs.
If you're interested in more of the story, go to deadspin.com. They did an awesome job. The other thing you can find on deadspin.com, of course, are the actual pictures. I viewed them. Jackal did not.
I'm going to look at them later, though.
In his own bedroom.
I'm sure you will.
yeah. But let's just say Brett Favre might have a big arm. But that's all he has that's big.
And supposedly they have a tape of him talking to her on the phone. Or not talking. He called her. She didn't answer.
Left voicemails. Don't leave a voicemail. If you're cheating on your wife and you're an athlete, don't leave a voicemail.
Yeah, but she has breast cancer.
Tiger Woods.
It's understandable, man.
No, it's not understandable.
She has cancer, man. No offense.
I can't deal with you. I absolutely can't deal with you. But
and he was on the Jets at the time, so
right.
Not much winning.
Jets players, stop doing things to women. Stop it. I'm tired of defending you. I'm a Jets fan. But
I don't mind it.
All right, I have a voicemail from Brett Favre I have to get to. We'll be right back.
Why you so upset?